Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel, I hope you're all doing well. It is finally match day, Juventus Sassuolo, and I can't wait. But usually, when we are recording the videos in the morning when it's match day, we focus 90% on the game that will happen in the evening or in the afternoon. Speaking about the predictable lineups, we speak about who will play, how we will play, we also analyze the opponents, and today of course we will speak about that. But today, breaking news, AS Roma sacked José Mourinho, and on top of that we have a lot of news about Mercato. So today will be probably a long video with a lot of diverse topics that I really want to go through. Maximum of like if you didn't yet, please continue to subscribe and support the channel. But first of all, I want to announce that on Friday I will be invited on Juventus Club Svezia podcast, the podcast that is made by Juventini from Sweden, and I'm extremely happy. I'm extremely honored. It's really a pleasure for me. Why? Because probably you don't know, but in our top 5, the top 5 of the people that are watching the most, actually the videos that I'm creating and putting online, well, we have USA first, we have United Kingdom at second spot, Canada third, Sweden that is there at top 4, and then followed by Germany on 5th position. So really thank you to all the people from every country, of course, but this time I really wanted to focus to say thank you to the Swedish community that is quite huge and are following and supporting the channel a lot. So thank you. I can't wait for the feedback, and I will try, of course, to learn a few words of Swedish so that you can hear me and that at least I can say hello, thank you, and Forza Juve in Swedish. Anyway, we go with the breaking news. AS Roma sacking José Mourinho. José Mourinho, that has been always a legend of football. We know it. He made history and he will forever be there in the books of football. José Mourinho that did good things at Roma, like bringing back a trophy after so many years that Roma was not able, not even to compete or dreaming about the trophy. He did it, winning the Conference League, bringing it back to the Museum of Roma. Even if, honestly, I don't know if they have a museum. It would be a small one. Anyway, but he also did a lot of bad things. And if you don't believe me, look at the stats for him in Serie A. I believe that he was really overrated. The time of José Mourinho has been over and finished since really, really long. And it's not a coincidence that I told you was a legend of the game and will be forever there in the legend of the game in the books. But I think that this time on the bench is over, at least in bigger clubs, because the magic of Jose is gone. 1.61 are the average points that he did in Serie A, and that's the worst points average of a coach of Roma since the era of the 3 points. So we are speaking about since 94, 95 for coaches that were on the bench of Roma for at least 50 games or more. Total disaster. He played 96 games, won 44, 23 times he drew, 29 times he lost. And don't speak about the fact, no, but he didn't sign big players. The last transfer market were really going towards his direction to make him happy. At the end, he signed Lukaku, Dybala, Renato Sanchez, Aouar. He has a Spinazzola that a lot of Juventini are still crying about. So he has the team to perform, but he was not able to do it. Anti-football. Really anti-football. Way worse than what Allegri is showing. And then I want to tell you something on top of everything. He's a coach that complained about everything, and it was really annoying. Also, a Roma that was honestly not only disgusting to see for what they offered, but also the behavior, aggressive, disgusting behavior. And we all reminded with one of the emblems that is Mancini, but also on the touchline. He's a coach that had 11 yellow cards, 7 red cards on the bench of Roma. Most of everyone in Serie A, 7 red cards at 1 yellow card of being also there, the record man of yellow cards on the bench. Total disaster. So, yesterday we spoke about the fact that Blue Monday is the saddest day of the year. Well, from that moment on, it can only get better. And if some Roma fans will be desperate, they will be sad, well, it can only be better. And from today, it will be a better day for Romanisti, I believe. They are thinking about De Rossi, and I don't know if that's a great choice or not. You know it, he was on charge only of Spal as a head coach, not even a full season. Well, he didn't do that well, 0.86 points. Of course, we are speaking about Spal. We are sure that the passion, the heart that he will put there at Roma will be big. But De Rossi, I love De Rossi. I really love De Rossi. By the way, I never told you, he's one of the players I really regret that he never played at Juve. But De Rossi, is it a smart choice or not? I don't know. To make it really funny and to really go towards Serie A is back. After Mazzarri going to Napoli, I believe that Zdeněk Zeman would have been a really great choice. Anyway, the jokes aside, you know what what was really funny this morning as well? That Corriere dello Sport at 8:39, we were speaking about 1 hour before the official announcement, they put it on a tweet, Mourinho stays at Roma. Then Friedkin is landing in Trigoria to meet him to tell him that he will stay at Roma. 1 hour later, they deleted the post. Unfortunately for them, I have the eye, because in the front page of today, you can see that actually they wrote, Mourinho is absolutely not risking the team. No, he spoke to the team, motivating them after the knockout against Milan 3-1. And now, of course, they are looking for a new sporting director, but Friedkin will be there to speak with him. 1 hour later, they deleted the post because it was able to do it. They couldn't delete that front page because it's already in all the stores. You know why I'm speaking that much about him? Because of Huijsen. Huijsen, our player, our boy, that was about to go to Frosinone. Medicals were already planned. He was not called up when we played in Coppa Italia against Frosinone, just to be sure that he was not there and having no problems at all. Well, Huijsen is there now without José Mourinho. And I hope the new coach, if it will be De Rossi, will also see him, will also believe in him, will also give him playing time, because otherwise it will be a really wrong choice in his journey to grow. He was going to play, to have minutes, to have experience in Serie A. If the next coach is going towards, I don't know, a 4-man defense, if he's going towards, I don't believe in Huijsen, well, it could be a really disaster choice for him. And you know, on Google, when you are going and check some quotes about the job, there is one quote that is always there. Don't pick a job, pick a boss, which is extremely beautiful. What a beautiful quote, of course. And it's true that when you're working for a boss that is really in harmony with you, that is believing in you, that you can really be there. Fantastic, feeling well, loving your job even more. It's totally true, but pay attention. Don't believe that much in that quote, or at least it can't be the fundamental priority or topic why you pick your new job. It can't be because of the boss, because in life everything can happen. And I can tell you, speaking about experience, it happened to me, choosing a fantastic boss, going there. 6 weeks later, she was dismissed and I was there alone in a job that honestly at that time I didn't like that much. So it can happen every time. So pay attention where you put your priorities. The values of the company, the role, the contract, the benefits. If you think that you feel well with the boss and without the boss, these are things that are really fundamental. So pay attention. Hopefully he can play, but if not, hopefully he can also learn his lesson, that these beautiful, charming moments of a coach that is hugging him and giving him a kiss, they are there, but you need to see the bigger picture and not only that moment, because choosing with the heart in football or in your professional career is not always the best choice that you can do. Mamma mia, 8 minutes and we have to start speaking about Juve. I told you it would be longer. 20ª giornata, first round is over. If we are looking at the last 3 seasons of Max Allegri, we can say that Juventus did a beautiful job. 34 points in the first season of comeback of Max, which were absolutely not a lot. 38, a bit better, but absolutely not a lot. If we are speaking about last season, we are here at 46. And yesterday in press conference, he said it. If we did 46 points, we deserve them. Also because of that team cohesion. So Max Allegri did well in the first round. Now the difficult games will start. Because you know it, from the second round, all the teams are paying more attention. Because every point is really vital and crucial to save themselves for relegation or to go into Europe. The Europe that count like the Champions League or whatever. So it starts to be extremely difficult now. It is match day, Juventus against Sassuolo, and you see on that front page of Juventus poster, you see Kenan Yildiz. Really strange to see a young kid there, promoted by Juve. Not that he's suffering the pressure, but anyway, you know, having Kenan Yildiz there is big. A Kenan Yildiz that will play this evening, and he will guide the attack. The attack of Juventus that since he started to play, well, is back in scoring goals with our strikers. Remember, a few weeks ago we were speaking about everyone is scoring at Juve except of strikers. We don't see goals of Milik, of Vlahovic, of Moiskin, of Federico Chiesa. Nobody is scoring. We have a problem with the attack. Well, since the day that he started to play as a starter, we are back. Since there, 5 games. He didn't play all of them from the start, but 5 games with Yildiz. 3 goals for Kenan, 3 goals for Milik against Salernitana, 2 goals for Dusan Vlahovic. So he will be there, and probably he will also today try to score or make sure that the other ones are scoring. Tuttosport is putting him on the front page. Il sorpasso di Yildiz. Yildiz is overtaking everyone, because if Chiesa will be called up, he's at the moment not in the predicted lineup. We see Tuttosport that is going with Szczesny, Alexandro on the left, Danilo on the right, Bremer in the middle, Kostic on the left, Cambiaso on the right, Rabiot, that should recuperate, and some people are saying he could potentially also start. Locatelli in the middle with Yildiz, Dusan Vlahovic up front. Gazzetta is going with the same lineup, with the difference that it will not be Kostic but Cambiaso on the left with Wea on the right side. For the other one, they are also putting Rugani instead of Alexandro. Now, I want to say something about that. Not sure if we will see Cambiaso from the start. Wea, I think yes. Kostic, I think yes. Not Cambiaso from the start. Why? Because McKennie is not there. Gatti is not there. And if we don't have McKennie, we don't have a lot of midfielders option, because with Miretti, Rabiot, Locatelli that are playing, on the bench we have only Nicolosi that should and possibly sub Locatelli, and then we have Nonje that can play instead of Rabiot a bit more on that left side. So let's see if Cambiaso can be put on the bench to be the alternative that can possibly play or on the right for Wea, or on the left for Cambiaso, or in the midfield for a Miretti or for a Rabiot. Miretti that I am not sure if he will finish the game, because until this season I never saw him really finishing a game. So a change will be there, and probably also for Rabiot that probably has not the 90 minutes in his leg. So one or two players could come from the bench and Cambiaso could be there an alternative. That's what I think. What do we have to pay attention for today against Sassuolo? Of course, is one, the big thing. Don't let them take the average block of the field. Don't let them go higher, because it's a team they love to play higher on the field. We saw it when we played against them. And when they play higher, well, it starts to be really difficult, because they have two players there. Berardi, that we know it from the moment that he's there on that right side of the field looking for his left side and going on a shot even outside of the box. We have to pay attention for that. But also to Loriente. That is true, he scored only one goal and it was against Juve. We all remember that goal, unfortunately, but also him on the left side can be one that is not the same as Berardi, but able to find spaces, dribbling and trying to enter the box. So pay attention to these two players. On the other side, we have a Rabiot that can enter, that can find spaces, and he will be extremely important. On the other side, let Yildiz play, because every time that the kid has the ball, he's able to do magic. So these are our two weapons and the two threats that we have to pay attention for. Gazzetta dello Sport made me laugh this morning, because they put a smiling Max Allegri on their first page that is thinking about changing the ranking, changing and overhauling the ranking. Allegri faccio il ribaltone. I will overtake Serie A. I will change that ranking from position 1 and position 2. Because we know it, we are speaking about it on the channel. The big opportunity of January, beginning of February, means Inter playing one game less than Juve, and we can play against them on the 4th of February. And I repeated it every single day, being there at +1 with the possibility, if we beat them, to go at +4. We are speaking about that, I believe, since 2 weeks already, minimum. Well, since yesterday, journalists, they all woke up and they started to ask the question in press conference and write it on the papers. And they also wrote it. Juventus is really trying for it. Allegri is favored because of the calendar. Inzaghi is doing some turnover also in the Saudi Arabia Cup, because he wants also to focus on Serie A. Juventus will play today. We have to catch up. We have to win against Sassuolo today, because Inter, they won 5-1. Inter will play against Lazio in Supercoppa, so it will not count for Serie A, while Juventus will have the advantage to play against Lecce. Pay attention, difficult game. We only won 1-0 in our home. Inter will play maybe a game in the final, we don't know. We are playing then in the 22nd match day against Empoli, while they are playing against the team of Vincenzo Italiano, Fiorentina. And then we have the big game on the 23rd against Inter. It can happen, but you know what was funny? The answer of Allegri, when they were asking, do you think about it? He said, the men, the players in the locker room, they spoke about it. Yes, we spoke about it, but I told them, no, don't think about the 4th of February. Don't think about the possibility. Focus game after game after game. First Sassuolo, then Lecce, then the other games. Not thinking already, because otherwise we are doing disaster. Do you remember what happened against Sassuolo where he's worked? Then he said something that is shocking me and makes me really, really, really scared, because you know I am superstitious. The last time that he said the word euphoria, I hope I pronounced it well this time, euphoria, it was before the game of Sassuolo, saying, I feel a lot of euphoria. I feel the players that are enthusiastic, that are thinking, and the day after we lost 4-2. He used it again, not in the same way. He didn't say this time that he felt a lot of euphoria. He said, let's not have a lot of euphoria, because otherwise it could be a problem. So it's a different way of saying it, but anyway, he pronounced it. So I'm a bit superstitious, and I'm a bit scared about that. On the other side, I will tell you something. I would love to have a game where we are able to send a sign again to Serie A, send a sign to Inter that is in Saudi Arabia. I would love to have a game where we are able to beat Sassuolo with a lot of games. To send a signal to the Nerazzurri, to have the continuity of 2024 where we're able to score twice a lot of goals, 10 goals in Coppa Italia, in 2 games only. I would love to send a sign also of revenge against Sassuolo, that we will not make the mistakes that we did. I would love to have a 4-0, a 5-0 to show Juventus is there, they will not give up. On the other side, if you tell me, Beppe, here is a pen, sign for a 1-0 victory, I would do it as well. So I don't care, and I'm not sure because it's a bit dangerous. And we finish with Mercato. Didn't expect the video to be that long, but we'll finish with Mercato. Tomorrow could be the day of Giallo. Pay attention, don't jump too fast, don't go too much in conclusion, because of course he needs to pass the medicals. So first, he will do the medicals, and from the moment that we say, okay, we go, because I have still in mind the ex-player that went then now to Leverkusen. Of course, I'm trying to win some time to remember the name. I don't remember it. Anyway, it is what it is. Tell me in the comment. I don't remember. Anyway, the player that was there that did the medicals and at the end he failed them, so we didn't sign him. So everything can happen. So pay attention. But Jallo should be there tomorrow. Adzic will be a player that he will sign, but he will not be immediately a player for Juve, because we know it's finishing his season with his club before coming back next season for first the next gen, with a possibility, with a window open to go in the first team. But Juventus today is also looking apparently on Felipe Anderson, or at least this is what Corriere dello Sport is telling us. Why? Because on Corriere dello Sport they spoke about Max Allegri that is running to try to surpass and overtake Inter, but they also said something important. They said pay attention for Felipe Anderson, because Lazio is not increasing their offer for the Brazilian player. Felipe Anderson already chose the Bianconeri. According to them, if we are reading it like that, Felipe Anderson already chose the Bianconeri, it's a done deal. We go for Felipe Anderson next season free for a 4 million euro salary. Now, you saw it this morning, 1 hour before Mourinho was dismissed. They wrote that he would stay, so don't believe 100%, you know it. In Mercato is crazy. We were sure to go for Cherubini. He was that close to go for Juve. Everything was already agreed between everyone. And then he had that surgery that he needs to undergo. Personal motives. He will not go to Juve. That young Cherubini will not reinforce the next gen. So until the signature, you show the number, you show the shirt, nothing is done. Mercato, you know it, it is totally crazy. But Felipe Anderson could be a Juve player. Then you will tell me, Beppe, but why? We don't like it. We don't want that player. Why are you speaking about him? Oh, ragazzi, I told you, next season we are playing more games. We are playing more competitions. He's a player that is coming for free with a lot of experience. Only last year, he played 50 games. 12 goals, 9 assists. This season he's scoring not that much, only 2 goals after 28 games, but he already did 7 assists in all competition. It's a player that can play on the left as a left winger, as a right winger, as a center forward, as a second striker, as an attacking midfielder. He even played a few games at Lazio as a right midfielder. So it's a player that is really versatile, can play everywhere on the pitch. I told you, it's my favorite player to be a starter? Absolutely not. But if you are in need of going with quantity, keeping some money to reinvest on a big player, especially for our midfield, well, Felipe Anderson could be a really good player to have on the bench entering, especially if we are thinking about Moiskin, that could possibly leave already this winter, with a lot of clubs on him. The last one, not the one of Italy, because we already said about Fiorentina, Bologna, Monza, but our Atletico Madrid, that could potentially say goodbye to Depay. But we have also Nice in France, Rennes in France. He's also waiting for some calls from the Premier League. So, having Felipe Anderson that can reinforce that attack could be a good one. Now, we are also speaking about midfielders. We know it is over for Henderson, and I'm extremely happy for all of you. And I told you, since the first day, I didn't want him. I could think about the positive side, but there were not a lot. So, not him. Let's wait for the last day of Mercato. Maybe a comeback of Calvin Phillips, that also for the same reasons we said no. You never know. Juventus apparently are also monitoring a player, Mangala, Belgian player from 25 years from Nottingham Forest, that could potentially arrive on loan. On the other side, the big dream is Koop Manners. Koop Manners that yesterday I watched really closely. I was really monitoring him. What a player. ideal for Juve. He played and he started even his career as a defender. A defender that then, when he was at AZ Alkmaar, his coach put him in the midfield, and now at Atalanta he's playing as a tuttocampista. That means he can play everywhere. But yesterday, physicality, the sense of goal, the vision of football, what a player. What a player. Again, I already spoke about him yesterday. Speaking really well about him because what a player. Fantastic. But Juventus apparently now they are also on another player. And we are speaking about Gudmundsson that is doing extremely well with Genoa, with his team. Already this season, 10 goals for him. Juventus could go for that. And then he will tell me, Felipe Anderson, Gudmundsson. Okay, Keane is leaving, but there are a lot of players. Why is Juventus looking for these players? Well, in case of Gudmundsson, you know it. Juventus is still negotiating with Federico Chiesa about a contract extension. And if they are not this year, in 2024, the official contract extension for Chiesa until 2026, we can be in danger. Because Federico Chiesa could then go closer and closer and closer to the end of his contract, leaving for a very cheap, under his value, or going, I know there is a verbal agreement, a verbal promise, but verbal means nothing in football, could even leave for free. And we don't want that. We don't want that, absolutely. So Juventus, it's not that they will go 100% for Gudmundsson, but they are already checking. What if, the worst case scenario, we are obliged to sell Chiesa because he doesn't want to renew? If he wants to push to leave Juve. We have Kenan Yildiz, great. We want to keep Dusan Vlahovic, great. But we need to reinforce ourselves. And a Gudmundsson could be potentially that player. Voila, that was it. 20 minutes of video. I hope you enjoyed it. We will see each other on YouTube and Twitch channel of Juventus, where I will do the pre-game and watch-along. And then on this channel for the post-game. And hopefully we can start round 2 of Serie A with a victory, revenging that game of Sassuolo that is until now, and for season 23-24, the only team that we lost again. Grazie, forza, Juve.